What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Financial Coach Jess. In yesterday's video, I talked about the 4 reasons why you should forget your student loan forgiveness program, as well as the student loan forgiveness tax bomb that occurs. Another thing that I briefly talked about is the fact that if you stop paying your student loans, they have the legal right to garnish your tax return as well as your wages. Not the most uplifting video, but today I am so excited to share with you guys the fast track to paying off your student loans. My process is going to show you how to optimize your student loans, how to optimize your cash flow, and literally pay your student loans off 10 times faster than just paying the minimum payments or waiting on student loan forgiveness. So let's go ahead and get started. Step 1 is very basic and yet very important. I need you to log into your lender's website. Now, you may not know your login information, or this may be the first time that you're logging in, and that's okay. I want you to get comfortable logging in and taking a look at this information, but it's very important that you don't write your login credentials down. Do not write it down on a piece of paper. Instead, use a password management software like LastPass. LastPass helps you manage all of your passwords across all of your sites, and I've got a special link in the description below to help you open an account. Now that you're logged in, I want you to make note of 5 things. Number 1 is how much you owe. Number 2 is what type of debt. Is it private? Is it federal? Subsidized? Unsubsidized? Number 3 is the APR. What is the interest rate on the debt, on each debt? I know some student debt has a bunch of loans kind of tied into one, and all the interest rates are different. Make note of that. Number 4 is the principal versus interest on each individual payment. And number 5 is the length of the loan. All of that is included in step number 1. Log into your lender's website, get familiar with your debt, and if you don't already have one, get some sort of password management software like LastPass. Number 2 is minimizing your interest. Throughout this whole process, the interest amount is going to be the biggest time and money waster, so we want to minimize it as much as we can in the beginning. Here's how it works. Interest and principal are both going to be in every single payment that you make to the lender. The principal amount is going to go toward the total balance, while the interest goes to the lender for borrowing the money to begin with. As you make your payments, you'll notice that the interest amount starts to get slightly smaller while the principal amount grows. In the beginning of our mortgage, our interest was actually the majority of our payment, while our principal was only around $200. Now, our principal each month is actually more than our interest, and it works the same way with your student loan. This is why it's so important to hit your student loan hard in the beginning, when the principal is very small and the interest is big. The more principal you pile on, the faster that interest will start to shrink. Before you know it, your principal will be more than your interest each month. That's when you really start to see the progress. So while you are logged in, go ahead and take a look at your APR. The average interest rate for student debt is 5.8%. If your interest rate is at, I would say, about 8% or higher, you need to call your lender and ask them why it's so high and what you can do to lower it. The reason might be that when you applied for the loan and got approved, your credit score was very low. For tips on how to raise your credit score, check out my video here. Step 3 is to increase your monthly cash flow. So I'm assuming that your student debt is probably the largest amount of debt that you have. Take a look at if you have any other car loans or credit card debt. By paying these off and leaving the accounts open on your credit cards, this can actually help free up a lot of cash. Is there a car loan that you've just got a couple thousand left that you can hurry and pay off so that you can free up $300 to $400 a month? Free up as much cash flow as you can by paying these smaller debts off so that we can really attack the big student loan. So at this point, the interest rate on your student loan is average or lower, or you're working on your credit score so that you can refinance to a lower interest rate. On the other hand, you've freed up a lot of cash flow because you've paid off your car and your credit cards that were holding you back and eating up that monthly cash flow. So now, step 4 is all about optimizing your monthly payment. We don't want to use things like forbearance, where interest still accrues on your student loans, and we don't want to use deferment because it extends the life of the loan and interest may accrue. But something that may help you in the temporary is income-based repayment. Now, you do have to apply and qualify for income-based repayment plans, but this can significantly help lower your monthly payment while you put extra toward the principal. Really important to note that you have to specify that you want the extra amount going toward the principal. The default at times can be to go to the next payment, which we don't want at all. You're just paying more interest ahead of time. We want the extra amount to go only toward the principal balance. But remember, income-based repayment only helps you if you put extra toward the principal. If you're just making these tiny payments, your loan actually might grow. The interest might be so much more than the principal that you're actually digging yourself a deeper hole. You absolutely have to put a significant amount of extra toward the principal each month. If income-based repayment doesn't work for you, if you don't qualify or you don't want to have to qualify time and time again, there is another option for you. And that option is extending the life of the loan. Now, hear me out. This sounds really weird. Why would I take my 10-year student loan and extend it to 20 or 25 years? But here's why. And again, you have to follow the process. If you extend the life of your loan, the amount that you're paying is actually going to go down, freeing up more cash for you to put toward the principal. So let's say you've got a loan at 10 years and your monthly payment is $500. If you extend the loan to 20 years, your monthly payment is now $250, but you've got an extra $250 or $350 or $400 that you can put specifically toward the principal. By extending the life of the loan, we're actually lessening the minimum payment, which is lessening the interest that we pay each month, freeing up more money that we can put toward the principal. Now that our payments are optimized, we want to move on to step 5, which is decreasing expenses. So remember, we've optimized our payments, we've minimized that interest as far as we possibly can, and now let's cut back on frivolous and unnecessary expenses so that we can pile on the cash toward the principal and pay this off in 1 or 2 years. Take a look at your online banking and see if there's any small leaks that you can plug up, like subscriptions, groceries, eating out, entertainment, or travel. These are a great way to just cut expenses temporarily while you pile on the cash and get that student loan balance down. Another great way to cut expenses like your phone bill, internet bill, and rent is negotiating, and I go full depth in this video here, plus I'll link it down in the description below. Step 6 is all about increasing your income. Now that we've decreased our expenses, it's important to use our time wisely through working overtime, working side hustles, and possibly asking for a raise. If you have the opportunity to work overtime at your job, this is probably going to be the best ROI for you, return on investment. On the other hand, if you're coming up for a yearly review with your boss, go ahead and start the discussion of what it would look like for you to receive more responsibility and more compensation. And if those are off the table, you can make several $100s a week by doing side hustles. If you want me to do a separate video on side hustles, definitely let me know below that you would find that valuable. All right, so let me go ahead and summarize what I've talked about so far. Number 1 is logging into your lender's website. Get familiar with your debt. Number 2, get your interest down, whether that be refinancing or getting your credit score higher. Number 3 is freeing up cash flow by paying off your car and other credit cards. Get as much debt out of your life as possible so you've got a lot of money to pile on to the principal. Number 4 is optimizing your payment. Number 5 is decreasing your expenses. Number 6, increasing your income. And number 7 is calculating your debt-free date while tracking your progress. Once you get into a flow, it's very easy to become discouraged and for everything to feel very monotonous. I highly recommend calculating your debt-free date, and that'll give you something to look forward to. In addition, track your payments and make sure that you can visually see the progress that you're making. I promise that will help so much with motivation. I know it can feel like a long road, but I promise there is so much freedom on the other side of those payments, and it's worth it. If you guys found value in this video, please subscribe and smash the like button, and I'll see you on the next video.